Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wannabes podcast. I'm Morgan, and that's Dreaded. Sadly, there is no Luke tonight. He isn't feeling the best. So, yeah, he'll be joining us hopefully next week. Hopefully, you feel better soon, bud. But
he'll make it. He'll pull through. I know he will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, real quick, everybody, before we dive into our entertainment news and before we dive into our movie review of Transformers 1, we do want to just say and remind you, if you didn't catch last week's episode, which is Beetlejuice, you can catch Luke and I reviewing it. I won't say it a third time, don't worry.
Okay, we just don't need him running around in here, nothing like that, and messing up the podcast.
I mean, he might help the show, you know? People seeing the real life Beetlejuice, you know?
You might have a point there.
But anyway, everybody, if you have not caught the Beetlejuice movie review that Luke and I did last week, you can catch it over on our YouTube and Spotify page. So yeah, make sure you follow us, subscribe to us over on YouTube and follow us on Spotify. That way, if you aren't able to catch the live shows, you're able to watch them at your leisure over there and even on the go through Spotify. So that's a really exciting development for us. We love that we have this available for you now.
Watch out, or we'll summon Beetlejuice to give you a hard time.
All right, so we're going to dive into our movie news. You ready, Dreaded?
Let's do it.
All right, I'll let you lead off today then.
All right, first bit of news we got today. Good news for the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender Netflix series, because they have found their Toph Beifong. So
Ooh.
Toph will be portrayed by Maya Kesh? I'm not exactly sure how to say that last name, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name if you ever for some reason watch this podcast, which you can catch on Twitch, YouTube, and Spotify now. But yeah, they found their Toph, actually. I don't know who this actually is, but if looking at this article here, it turns out I only know her from one movie where she played a young version of Ali Wong's character in the Netflix romantic comedy film Always Be My Maybe, which I have a very mixed opinion about in that movie to a degree.
I'm not familiar with her either. I'm looking at her IMDb real quick, but
gotcha. But in a clip released as part of Netflix's annual Geek Week fan event, Toph's feet were seen close up before she stomped down and demonstrates her earthbending, which I did see that. That was cool.
Nice.
Which, I'm going to be real, I looked like, am I crazy? Or maybe are they getting a little bit of some of their earthbending effects that I had a quote-unquote issue with, honestly. I mean, it still looks good.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know, but who knows? Maybe they are, because with the success I think that the first season had for them, they're able to allocate more budget. Maybe that they were like, you get this budget and we'll see if you get a season 2, and if you do, we'll see how it goes.
And then it turns out they got all 3 seasons, so I'm still really happy they got all 3. I'm so happy, and I love that announcement they had too.
Yeah. I didn't get to catch that announcement, so I'll have to go look at it after the show.
Oh, for the top one specifically?
Yeah.
Okay. So
the announcement for the 3-year rate. Sorry, I realized that's what you're talking about. That was so sweet. I love that.
Somehow that actually gave me more insight to realize even if people make shows and they may not always be the best received or anything like that, they still put a lot of work and effort into it. Unless you work on Riverdale, where they was like, guys, please stop. That's a whole different story there. But glad to see that they found their Toph. And from the looks of her, I was like, yeah, I think this is good.
Awesome. She looks good. I was able to pull up an image. She at least looks really good.
Yeah, I would definitely say the Avatar live action series has done a pretty good job at the casting, honestly.
Agreed.
Now, some casting I have questioned, but I think most of it has actually been solid casting.
100% agree.
So, looks like they're still going strong and going very well at it as well.
Woo.
And also, you know what? I know they changed some stuff, but I don't get rid of Earth Rumble 6. Please don't get rid of Earth Rumble 6. I would love to see who they cast as the Boulder. If I want to petition, do you think we can actually get The Rock to do it? Because I'm just being real. I mean, he's already based off The Rock. Wouldn't it be funny if The Rock played the Boulder?
Honestly, that would be pretty fucking hilarious.
It would be funny.
That would be pretty funny.
I'd say get the Big Show to play the hippo.
I just don't know if the Netflix show has the budget for Dwayne Johnson.
Perhaps. It would be funny though. It'd just be hilarious. But yeah, we got our live action Toph. So they're making moves, and I can't wait for Avatar to return again. All right, go ahead and take us off with the news you got for us.
Yeah. So first things first, it's not too much to actually like talk about, but just for an announcement for anybody out there who are Deadpool and Wolverine fans, the 4K digital is up for pre-order and is arriving October 1st. So it hits digital platforms on October 1st, and then the Blu-ray will be expected to release on October 22nd. So who knows, maybe we'll have a really cool steelbook out there.
Knowing Luke, he'll definitely try to get that steelbook ASAP.
Agreed. He loves his steelbooks, which I don't blame him. They're sick.
It includes deleted scenes, a gag reel, and behind-the-scenes featurettes.
Ooh.
I ain't gonna lie. Am I the only one who feels Marvel DVDs are kind of lazy? Like, okay, this is a whole different discussion.
Because I haven't bought a hard copy. Well, I always buy one at least one a year, but that's usually to gift to other people.
I got a solid few MCU films on hard copy, and I'll be real, I miss the days where it feels like DVDs put a lot of effort into their like DVD menus and stuff like that. They were fun to explore.
I
like
really
Shrek
like
2
the interactive ones, or like the really
yeah. Like Shrek 2 had a great one, and Jeepers Creepers 2 might be the best DVD menu I ever seen, honestly.
I would assume they don't like go all out for them anymore, is because they know not their market, the main way of them making money is actually not from people buying DVDs after the movie releases anymore. It's them streaming them.
This must be just us getting old. Back in my day, they put effort into their goddamn menus on the DVD. They were fun to explore. They got the actors to come back and do fun stuff for you. And that's not even going in the menus. I even feel like the actual behind the scenes looks and stuff like that. I've gotten honestly lazy too. I would feel like back then you really got a really good deep dive into how some of these movies are made. Nowadays they feel like this. It's an afterthought. Oh yeah, let's add that to it too, but let's not put a whole lot into it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just because like they don't want to have a designated person capturing all of that or editing those certain areas. I don't really know. It surprises me because that's some of the stuff I love, but maybe they don't want other people to see their filming secrets.
I mean, it's already out there. I mean, hell, watch Corridor Crew. They're getting literally like presidents of like digital freaking companies telling you, hey, this is exactly how we made King Kong.
Yeah.
Which was so cool to learn. That was so cool to learn.
That was really fucking cool to learn, not gonna lie.
But Deadpool and Wolverine coming to DVD and Blu-ray. Well, yeah. Dude. I still like to collect me some movies, so I'll probably have that in my arsenal at some point. Or just watch it on Disney Plus, just to save some money.
Yeah, we might end up buying it because we liked it so much. We might get it eventually.
I know I'll get a lot of stuff eventually.
Yeah, we'll see. I need the reason I don't buy a lot of DVDs though is because I need a bigger home.
Oh, fair enough. I don't have a big enough space to store them all, but I'd still grab them. I'm be like, nope, because I took a shit ton from you, and I don't exactly have space for it, but I just made it work somehow.
It's funny. So, I want to discuss a film, a trailer for a film that recently released, and this film is called Mikey 17. So for anybody in chat who is listening or watching elsewhere, this is a film adapted from something called Mikey 7, which is a novel by Ashton Edward. I have not read it, but this is going to be starring none other than...
Batman.
Thank you, yeah. By Robert Pattinson. And basically the synopsis of this film is a disposable employee is sent on an inhuman expedition to colonize the ice world of Niflheim. After
Really?
Yeah. After one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of his memories intact. So the main thing we immediately see in this trailer is he has signed up to be basically the disposable worker, and they make clones of his bodies, and they constantly return. So yeah, he dies in a bunch of numerous different ways, whether for science, in accidents, straight out murder. We see him seeing himself, which isn't ever supposed to happen. And yeah, so I want to know, Dreaded, what were your thoughts on this? Because I found it to be a really intriguing trailer and concept.
Fascinating. the biggest thing I thought of was a conversation me and you had a couple of years ago about Robert Pattinson himself, on how, other than of course everyone knows him for Twilight, how Robert would kind of take weird, like not really known roles for some strange movies and stuff like that.
Yes.
This literally gave the vibe of, yep, this is exactly what you were talking about. This is a very interesting premise, very interesting movie, and of course Robert Pattinson's doing it. Also contains Stephen Yeun and Mark Ruffalo in it as well. And I swear I know this name. Who is Naomi Aki? Oh, she was in Rise of Skywalker. That's what she was. Oh my God, and she was Whitney Houston. Okay, credit where credit's due.
Yeah, so I thought it was really interesting. It seems to have a pretty decent budget for what it is, because it is, in space. It is like this weird, like, I would assume sci-fi thriller / comedy. But no, I think it's really interesting, and it'll be intriguing to see Robert Pattinson kind of, embrace this another weird, just like you said, another weird role. I believe it's from the creators or maybe the director of Parasite as well, for anybody who's familiar with that. Let me double check that.
Yes, it is.
Is it? Nice. So yeah, I don't know. Knowing that, like, the creator of, wow, I cannot speak today. But knowing that the creator of Parasite's behind it makes me a little intrigued to see what weird, crazy shit's gonna happen. Because Parasite's chopped full of weird, crazy shit.
Well, we will see how it goes. It looks interesting. It looks well made as well. Like,
yeah, it does look very well made. I'm very interested in this one. This is one I definitely want to catch.
Gotchas. So yeah, interesting film here. Now on to the next. On to the next.
Yeah, so this is another thing that we've discussed many times with animated films and stuff that are getting adaptions. Like, video games are getting adaptions, right, into movies and shows. And a lot of times people say in comments, we've probably said before, is why aren't we getting the voice actors who do the voices to begin with in these video games be voicing the show or the movie? Well, in this case, Keanu Reeves is not only voicing Shadow in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, but he will also be the voice of Shadow in the DLC for Sonic's X Shadow Generations, which is actually dropping on December 12th.
You mean, the DLC? That's what I say. That game is coming on October 25th.
That is, the DLC drops on the December 12th, yes.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good, you're good.
According to Wikipedia, the level is Tokyo.
Ooh, I love that. I liked seeing this. I wanted to talk about this because we have said time and time again, man, we wish that we would get, the voice actors to voice these characters, but it's nice to see that Keanu not only is open to doing Sonic or doing Shadow in Sonic, but is also willing to branch out and do the game, the voice in the game. So we've heard him, I should say, in Cyberpunk, and it's nice to see him entering back into the game realm and to giving this character such a Shadow more love.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it too. It's really cool. It is actually a really cool thing to see that Keanu decided, hey, I'll lend my voice for the DLC here, just for the aesthetic of, if you're gonna play a level based off the new movie, you might as well hear Keanu.
Yes, I love it.
And plus, I'm a huge Shadow fan, so I'm just a sucker for this stuff.
Me too.
I'll be getting this game. I'll get the OG Sonic Generations too, just to beat it, just so I can play Shadow.
Nice. I love that.
And also, I'm sorry, gushing because of just the game in general. Oh my God, the freaking Black Arms are back.
Yay!
And Shadow got some new powers too. Like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Now, I hope the length is at least well enough, because I'm gonna be real. If there's one issue Shadow the Hedgehog suffers from, is he can be a marketing tool. They know that there is a rabid bubble of Shadow fans, and when they see Shadow, they come flocking. And then, when they come flocking, they might get disappointed, because I remember Sonic. What was it? What the hell is that game called? Not Sonic Frontier.
Luke's not here,
Sonic
so
Forces.
I'm not helpful.
No, sorry. Sonic Forces. Shadow was featured in it, but not as much. Then they released a free DLC called Episode of Shadow, which was very short and very time wasting. But people, they do it because they know they love Shadow. and now this is actually being sort of marketed as somewhat of a separate game. But I hope it is worth buying it and everything like that, considering, it could go bad. It could go bad, but I have hope because, I'm still a fan. So I'll see what happens, though.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Moral of the story, though, Keanu's back for Shadow in the game. I'm fine with it. Although it would be cool to see some of the voice actors from the old Sonic games do the movie roles, actually. But I still like
would be nice.
what they've got. The only one they actually got is for Tails, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Idris Elba did grow on me as Knuckles. Ben Schwartz actually is really good as Sonic as well.
Yeah, when I first heard Ben, I was like, yeah, I can see it. Mm-hmm. I can totally see Ben. Idris Elba, I mean, I'm biased. I love that man. I think he's amazing.
It was weird for me at first.
But at first it didn't fully hit. But then as it went on, I was like, you know what? I dig it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, it grew on me because, when I always thought of Knuckles, I've always seen these videos of just kind of breaking down the Sonic characters and how they can relate to kids, how Sonic's a cool extroverted character, Knuckles is a cool introverted character. Like, there's a specific voice actor he had for a time period from, I want to say Sonic Riders to maybe Sonic 06 or maybe after then. He was like the definitive voice for Knuckles for me, or even the voice actor they got for Sonic X. I don't know if that's actually the same voice actor or not. But then I heard Idris he sounds kind of cool, but again, it grew on me. It really grew on me.
So sorry, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, no, not Marsh. Just Keanu. I heard him the first time in the show. Like, you know what? I don't feel like this has to grow on me. I think this actually works.
Very nice, very nice. So, yeah. Keanu sounds great. I think he sounds fantastic. Keeping up with actually some more video game news, everybody. We have talked at length. I know we both are a huge fan of the Ghost of Tsushima franchise. And I have said many, many times, whether it be to you, especially to Dan, to many people, about how amazing it would be to see that storyline on the in the big picture, right? In the big film. Mm-hmm. And well, they have recently, in the last couple days, announced that Sucker Punch and Sony are officially releasing a sequel, which is Ghosts of Yotai. And super exciting, a very well-known voice actress that I follow and love and adore, Erika Iishi, is going to be taking up this role. She's very excited and honored to be finally stepping into one that represents her heritage. It is known that this game does take place more than 300 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima. We will be seeing the era of guns come into play in this video game. But even more than that, and why I wanted to talk about this on the show, right, is Sony has announced that they have big ambitions for Ghosts of Yotai and just in general, Sucker Punch Ghosts franchise. So Sony themselves want to expand the video game into movies, TV shows, and other spin-offs. And I'm going to say it now, I think this is a fantastic idea. The story elements that they have, the visuals, it's 100% there to be a very rich story. And I think with how well that we just saw Shogun do at the Emmys, the Shogun won a shit ton of awards. With how good Shogun's doing, this could do phenomenal as well.
Absolutely. I am definitely a big fan of seeing the Ghost series be adapted, actually. I feel like this is an adaptation that would work. Mm-hmm. Personally, I think a show low-key might do better.
I 100% agree with you. If they do movies, I don't think it should be it should almost be like how we see anime in a way. Like, we have the show and then maybe they have a movie that supports the show.
Perhaps so.
But for maybe a specific arc. But yeah, I think a show would do much better for this actual Ghost franchise, unless maybe some of the spin-offs become movies and the main story becomes the show.
Maybe so. That works out too. Because, I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima again, and let me say, there's a lot. There is a lot to do. There's a lot of storylines and stuff like that. I feel like trying to cover all that in a movie is going to be bad. You're going to get Zack Snyder levels of cutting shit down.
Oh, 100%. that would have to, if they were to do it right, it would need to span over multiple movies. But honestly, if you're gonna do that, I'd rather just see it in a show.
Yeah, I think it will definitely work out better.
Mm-hmm.
But Ghost of Yotai, that trailer was badass as hell.
Dude, it looks so good. I'm so excited for it.
So you know how in the first game you got the ghost stories, right? Like the legend storyteller?
Yes.
A lot of people are saying, please let one of those stories be the story of Jin Sakai.
Oh,
let it happen.
That
would be the best thing ever, bro. We went through hell to save Tsushima.
Oh, that'd be so sweet.
It'd be so badass, bro. Got guns and everything like that too. I don't want to see no fucking bigots and sexist motherfuckers complaining about the main character. Like, deal with it, bitch. Shit.
Yeah.
But man, I'm down. I'm down for this game. This is gonna be awesome. Okay, here's the deal. Without saying anything completely. Well, no, this game's been out since 2020. I don't care. If they tell us this horse will be with you the entire game, no one believe them. Sorry. Give me a moment. I need a moment of silence for Kage.
They're there, buddy.
Kage, you were the best horse, man. He was all black. You rode with me everywhere. We fought bears together. We fought Mongols and bandits. We stole flowers. We never got to take that peaceful ride. Like, oh man, there's a piece of dialogue. If you mount your horse, he actually says one day we'll just take a peaceful ride. We never got that peaceful ride. Oh, Kage! Or Nobu or Sora, depending on what you named your horse. Still goes to Yote. Is gonna be awesome. Anyway.
Sorry. I was like, where is my tabs? I found them.
Oh,
again.
You're good.
So the last bit of news I wanted to talk about, Bud, is kind of like going into to help transition into our stuff about Transformers. I want to talk about another superhero-esque film that was just released. The trailer was just released, which is that of the Marvel Thunderbolts. So I just watched it, and it mainly is like basically this team mainly consists of like reformed supervillains. We see again Kirk Busecki. We see, who else is there?
We've got Red Guardian.
Bucky, Red Guardian.
We've got Yelena. We've got Taskmaster. We've got John Walker.
It's Ghost, right?
Yes, the one I'm most happy to see back, Ghost.
Me too. I was like, fuck yeah, it's Ghost. So yeah, I'm very, very intrigued in this. It looks decent enough. I'm very curious to see what's going to be happening. It looks like we might be getting Bucky as the leader with either I think it's going to be like Bucky / Yelena that's going to be the leader of this group. But yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on it.
I'm interested. I've been kind of following this for the longest time because I think the concept is interesting. Seeing, reformed villains, although some of them are a little debatable. Well, one of them is, if you ask me. I'm super happy to see Ghost again because I feel Ant-Man and the Wasp is one of my most underrated MCU films, and I feel Ghost was actually a very interesting character that I really wanted to see come back for the longest time.
Which we also get to see Ghost in a new suit, as well as Taskmaster, and we also get to finally meet Bob, who is a character known as Sentry, which I'm not familiar with Sentry from the comics.
I've only ever heard that name. I don't know much about him either.
Let me Google him.
But I know I think he's one of those, he's a very OP character as well, I think.
Yeah, so Sentry, or also known as Bob Reynolds, is a superhero appearing in the American comic books published by Marvel Comics. Hold on, I'm trying to first see, what do they do? So they possess remarkable levels of human strength, superhuman strength, speed, and intelligence, as well as invulnerability, enhanced senses, and energy projection abilities. I
Gotcha.
believe there's some more that I'm missing, but sounds kind of like our Superman.
Perhaps so. I think that's actually what I've heard him kind of get compared to. So I don't know much about him. So I'm
Yeah,
honestly
he can
not gonna
also
go
fly, and he also has psionic abilities, which is like uh telepathy, telekinesis, shit like that.
Gotcha. Also, this is actually funny. If there's a poster, there's a teaser poster, right? I was so close to posting something, but someone already beat me to it. This poster looks like the poster for the movie This Is the End. I love you
That's
ever.
funny. No, I can see that.
I had the screenshot. I was like, looks familiar. I looked like, damn it, someone beat me to it.
That's really funny.
Also, did Bucky put his arm in the dishwasher?
He did, but hey, we all know that metal doesn't rust.
That's true. All right, that's one way to clean it. Kind of hilarious.
Yeah, it's definitely like a, former villains, ragtag, anti-heroes,
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, 100%. We get to continue the line the storyline we were getting with, I'm drawing blank on her freaking name now.
Elena?
No, the lady with the white that has the strip of white hair that was
her.
collecting all of them.
Yeah, Valentina. I'm looking at her name on Wikipedia right now.
Yeah.
Which I think she first showed up in. Wait, when did she show up first?
I think it was Black Widow at the end of Black Widow in the cutscene. We've seen her. We've seen her in the Hawkeye show. We've seen her in Wakanda. We've also seen her in not WandaVision, but the one with Bucky and Sam.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Thank you. Yeah, and I feel like there's another one I'm missing.
I think you actually got them all because I'm looking at her character thingy of every time she appeared.
Okay.
Which the only one I actually remembered was Wakanda Forever, which is the one I actually watched.
Fair.
Also, I'm glad Bucky has long hair again. He looked more badass that way.
Yeah, I prefer him with the long hair too, not gonna lie.
When he has like the haircut, like, I don't feel Winter Soldier badassery. You feel like just an everyday man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this movie, I mean, you know me. I mean, I'm a broken record at this point. You know, I'm not always up for Marvel nowadays and everything like that. But it doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look bad. I'm interested to see where the storyline's going to go, you know?
I would watch it, but I wouldn't. It's not like on the top of the list of have to watch it or nothing like that. It's just like, I know I'm up to do it.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. Thunderbolts looks pretty good. I'm just happy to see Ghost again. I like Ghost a lot. I
do too. I was even when I first saw when I was watching the trailer with Dan earlier, I was like, "Ooh, there's Ghost. We have Ghost back."
I hope Lawrence Fishburne's in the movie too. That's why he was like her adopted daddy, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Also, Lawrence Fishburne's in the movie we're reviewing tonight, and he's so cool.
He is. So let's go ahead and get into that. So kick things off, we're gonna like we always do, talk box office. So I want to just firstly say Beetlejuice has retained the #1 spot on the box office for 3 consecutive weekends. Now having made $225 million in the U.S., 329.7 million globally. Transformers entered behind expectations. So like Beetlejuice is still even beat out Transformers 1. But to get a deeper look into that, this film is 104 minutes long. Its budget is 75 to 147 million, and it did release on September 20th. So it's only at this point been out for just under a week, right? Mm-hmm. And to look at its box office numbers, though, in the United States and Canada, Transformers 1 was released alongside the movies The Substance and Never Let Go, and was projected to gross 30 to 40 million from 3,978 theaters in its opening weekend. The film made 9.6 million on its first day domestically, including 3.4 million from Wednesday and Thursday night previews. It went on to debut 24.6 million, finishing second behind holdover Beetlejuice, as I just mentioned. The opening weekend gross was deemed disappointing, but there was optimism that the film would do well over time. So as of September 23rd, Transformers 1 has grossed 27.9 million in the United States and Canada and 14 million in other territories for a worldwide total so far of 41.9 million, which is pretty low, all things considered. But I do want to say, I think this film is hurt by its marketing.
Oh, absolutely. We were going to talk about that. I was going to say there's two possibilities. One that I really believe, which is, marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Because other than like that first trailer, and now they released another one, I feel like this movie has not been marketed a lot. I feel like a lot of movies aren't really marketed enough nowadays, honestly.
I was actually about to say that as well. I think there's a lot of missed marketing for a lot of films nowadays. And part of that I don't dislike, because I do think they oversaturate and they tell the story and tell us too much of the story before getting into it. I think, and I've harped on this constantly since we've started the show.
Yeah, I don't know.
That they show too much in the films. I don't think they showed that much in the trailers. I don't know. I didn't watch all of the trailers that were released though, so I don't know how much we got. I know that going into this, I was concerned about how funny and cheesy it was going to be, and I was really concerned of how we were going to see the, Optimus, not Optimus Prime yet, that we were getting to end up seeing them become Optimus Prime. How was this character going to embody the Optimus that we know?
I had the same question as well, because when this movie started, I was like, so this is Optimus, huh? This is going to be Optimus.
Like, I'm pretty sure I said it to you guys. Like, this is probably just another film that we wish we were going to be able to like, but is meant for the kids.
Yep, we said that after the theater. I'm not sure if we ever talked about that when the trailers came out, but we definitely talked about that after we saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But
so, it was surprisingly good.
This movie's awesome.
It was so good.
This movie was awesome. Like, holy shit, I like that way more than I thought. This movie was climbing the ranking, because initially I thought, okay, I feel like I know where I'm going to rank this movie. Then by the end I was like, oh, this got up there. This got up. Y'all, Transformers 1 was cool as hell. It really was. Yeah. I had a great time with that.
So, just to dive into it a little bit, and how I just said, like, I thought that this movie was going to be something meant for the kids and for the younger generation to bring them back into the franchise, or to bring them into the franchise officially. I know I said this to you last night because we saw the movie together, but I think this is the best, and I mean best, example of giving a film that the adults who grew up with this can enjoy, while giving it the humor and like the enjoyment for the younger generations to get them into the franchise.
Yes, it is. It really is. They did it so well. They really did.
So Luke,
wait, he liked to transform?
Luke, who's under the weather right now, is in our chat and says, wait, he liked a Transformers movie?
Luke, I've been a fan of the Transformers movie since freaking the first Michael Bay movie. And okay, you know what, Luke, since I have to say this, props to you. I wasn't excited for it at first. I had very low expectations. But thank you for recommending this movie. Thank you for recommending it. W choice, W justice.
I was very, very pleasantly surprised with this film. It was funny, it was quirky, but it got dark.
Yes, that is literally what I was so happy, because it started off, like you said, funny, quirky, like, okay, I got you. But as the movie went on, it's like,
They didn't just brush the surface. They lot of movies like this, especially with knowing that it's meant to also help draw on the younger audience, will like brush the surface level of like those darker thoughts. And I was so happy that they had a pair and went with it.
Yeah, I like that they went dark. They didn't go Michael Bay dark, but they still went take this seriously.
Yes, 100%. And I love seeing the development we got for our characters. Everything we got made sense. we get to see, for example, diving into some of the characters we actually get to see in this. We have D16, who ends up becoming what we know as Megatron, and the leader of the
Megatron.
Decepticons. I loved seeing what Brian Tree Henry did with his character, and seeing him like really get into this betrayal. Like he felt really betrayed from what happens with Sentinel. And as we all know from, previous movies, Sentinel's a dickhole.
Yeah, fuck that dude. So we just going in. We just going for it. We just going in. No spoilers and everything.
Listen, that's about as far as I'm going.
Fair enough. Cause I want to tell the story what you whispered to me in the movie and what I responded with, because you leaned over. You leaned over. You said, "Okay, Sentinel's the bad guy." I looked at you like, "Yeah." Because for one, letting me know before we saw this yesterday, I watched Transformers: Dark of the Moon, and she told me like, "Yeah, of course he is. I haven't forgiven him from 2011. He killed Ironhide. Rip Ironhide. Fuck that dude. Like, fuck him."
The last Transformers movie I watched was for this show, and that was Rise of the Beast, or whatever it was called.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and you also did that one too.
Yeah, and that one wasn't bad either. But
oh yeah, that was fun.
I was pleasantly surprised. I was very, very shocked at how much I liked Chris Hemsworth as Orion Pax, or as Optimus Prime, as we end up seeing him near the end.
See, funny enough, I feel like as the movie went on, I feel like he started as, okay, I hear Chris Hemsworth doing this. But as time went on, I was like, okay, I still hear Chris Hemsworth, but I feel something's more mature about it. Like something different.
Yeah. Like you feel that switch. And I think the moment that switch really happens for me is when his minor facial reaction to how D is reacting to the news of how and when they find out that Sentinel is a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like just that thing of like, oh, he like something's not right with my friend, with my best friend. Like they're like, I need to keep an eye. Like mentally, he's like, I need to keep an eye on him.
Like he is seeing like, oh shoot, like
and
he's
I
taking
think
it hard.
From that moment on is when we start getting this maturing version of Orion Pax, because I mean he needs to be whatever buffer he needs to be for D16.
Mm-hmm. But also, even if like it was hard to see like this would become the Optimus Prime we know and love, but I did like that there were seeds early in the film that shows, okay, like he's immature, he's a little childish in ways, but you see there is a really selfless person under all that too.
What's funny is too though is like his like, so he does some really funny crazy shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see also the little seeds of why the fuck Optimus Prime puts up with Bumblebee's bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think of that. See, because I thought he was. No, that's so true. I'm like, damn, that would explain why
Optimus Prime out here being like, B, you remind me of a younger me.
It's like, I can't even be mad at you. I was the same way.
Exactly.
Speaking of freaking Bumblebee.
Oh my gosh. B127.
Badassatron. I like it. That initially so that was not funny. Oh, it was not.
It was silly.
Not funny. Yeah, but as he kept going and as he got cool, I was like, oh come on, it got funny actually.
When he ended up doing it, once he finally got his core and everything, and he's like, he sounded even more badass, and he looked even more badass, and I'm like, all right, B, you can have this one. I love though that they kept from like his original form, his little flaps, like his little bee-esque flaps that he has on his helm. That I loved that. That was really cool.
Yeah, these are based off the Gen 1 Transformers hardcore.
Yes, I love it.
Like there is not even a hint of Bayformers design. Which I'm not mad at, because the Gen 1 still looks great, but I also did grow up on the Bayformers, so. But I'm gonna say this too. I think Keegan-Michael Key does good, But there is one thing I want to say. I feel like he's being typecast now.
100%.
I feel like every time
I 100% agree with that.
Every time he's in a new one of these animated films, like, okay, he's not the same character 100%, but you're gonna see essence of, okay, seeing that in Lion King, saw that in Mario, we're seeing it here now. But I don't think I think it still works though. I think it works here actually pretty well considering Bumblebee.
Sure. And especially like the iteration that we have of Bumblebee, like this young, like almost like teen kind of vibe Bumblebee, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has a stack cast. Like we have Chris Hemsworth, we have Brian Tyree Henry, we have Scarlett Johansson, as you just said, Keegan Michael T. We do get some Steve Buscemi, some Lawrence Fishburne, John Hamm. Like there's a lot of big names in this. And what I really like is, and it makes sense, is we get to see a lot of big characters, even like sub characters, but they're big deals for like what we've seen in other parts of the franchise.
Mm-hmm. Also, we haven't even talked about Scarlett Johansson as Alita 1. She's cool. I like her a lot, actually.
I'm not in love with her. She's not my favorite character, but she's so important to the development specifically of Orion Pax and him becoming Prime.
That's actually high-key why I liked her a lot.
Yeah.
She's no nonsense at times, but I like that she does recognize the perks in Optimus before he even becomes Optimus, actually.
I 100% agree with you.
Also, I like how she
kind of gave him... Yes, absolutely. What I liked is she gave him that push he needed to really... we see a scene closer to the end of the film where he's speaking to all the miners, right? And I think because of the talk she had with him, he had that push to really take on that persona that we end up really recognizing, all right, this right here, I see a very young Optimus Prime finally. I think I think my favorite part about this film is actually how much they focus in even little tiny subtleties, like little subtleness of these characters' developments. Like even if it's just certain like glances and eye movements that we see either Orion Pax doing, D, like a handful of other characters, even with one of the primes that we get to meet as well, which is Alpha Trion. Alpha Trion. Okay, that's what I thought.
So cool.
So cool. I absolutely loved it. But there is moments where like he sees D getting upset and just like kind of Orion, like he even like does a there's something about this one without saying it. You know, there's so much, there's a lot of subtle notes in this film for you to pay attention to and to catch. And I think that's what I love the most.
I think what I love the most too is my favorite thing definitely is truly like, it doesn't feel completely black and white on why Orion becomes Optimus and D turns into Megatron. Yeah. Especially with Megatron, actually, because I really got like, oh, yeah, I understand. I really do. And, I got to talk about when he meets some other characters, like some of the goated Decepticons, Starscream, Soundwave, and Shockwave. Shockwave may be my second favorite character in this movie. Shockwave was so funny with just some of his dialogue, but oh man, my favorite thing about when I saw like, wait, this is the Decepticons, and then when I see Megatron is so pissed, like, no, I'm gonna show you guys how we need to do this, how we need to get back at Sentinel, to the point where he fights Starscream and beats him, and I was like, we've got the origin of why Starscream and Megatron have that relationship, why he's always so treacherous, why he's always trying to take back. Let me take the leadership because he's trying to take back. Like, I like seeing that a lot too, actually.
That's something that we definitely miss in like the Bay films, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We don't get that. We already get an established Megatron, an established Decepticons. It was really cool to see the birth of the Decepticons. And just speaking of like moments, my favorite moment is and I don't mind saying this part near the end because everybody who knows Transformers already knows this bit, right? Is that Megatron and Optimus Prime were best fucking friends. Betrayal happened. They have different views. and they are now on opposite sides of one another.
Mm-hmm.
But like they didn't just split ways. Optimus Prime became a leader and ended up banishing him. And my favorite part is they do so much for just being like robots, let's say, for lack of a better way of putting them.
Mm-hmm.
They do so much expression with their eyes. It is so good because the like drop in my heart seeing now Megatron's eyes be this dark red to really really dim when he announces you're banished. Like and almost
Mm-hmm.
like how he like the quick moment of being gutted to like then stoning himself to be like no, I can't show
No
that this is
weakness.
it. Because earlier in the film he's like there's only one, you know, there's only one Autobot I can trust. And then something happens and it cuts him off and he doesn't get to finish it. But we're all assuming, alluding to, he's meaning Optimus Prime. And then at that end, because of that end line, it just sends it home that no, he's the only Autobot he can trust. It's himself because of what
You
Optimus just does to him. And I love these little subtle threads they have going the entire film.
watching the fall is like because when he banishes them, it was like, damn, that actually hurt. Like
Yeah.
Megatron, like for what happens at the climax, like oh, because my favorite part is actually before that, but right before Optimus becomes Optimus. God, I can't wish I could talk more about it.
That's
But
also a
like,
really good spot. That's also
yeah,
another
that
good
moment
thing.
because it like showed just like okay, this is definitely why you are Optimus Prime. But the way Megatron handles that moment is like, oh no, because and the worst part is I get where he's coming from still. Like I know why you feel that way. I know why you did it. But no, don't do this, please.
But there is a moment of going too far, and
yeah, it's after
that's
that.
what we see happen.
Mm. See, that was the first. Like, no, I feel like that was definitely the too far moment. And then what happens after his one battle? I was like, okay, now you officially like Crimson Red. Like, okay, done. Your work done.
No,
So,
100%.
like, you're lost.
100%.
But
And
oh man! And then what happens? To Optimus after like, yes.
I was not expecting this depth to this film. Like, and we haven't even got into how beautiful this film looks. The animation, the color work they did in this film is gorgeous. I think this is a very beautifully animated film.
Yeah, I think when I first saw it, I was kind of. I mean, it looked fine.
I was
but
on the fence about it. Like I'm like it's fine, it's good. It's a little more like Jenny and I thought it's a little more kiddie than what I would have preferred, but it really immediately grew on me.
I feel like okay, this is weird because I know I didn't watch the show, but I have seen the evolution of it as well as having a time and maybe just the meaning for the show getting better. I feel like I have the same opinion on the Clone Wars. When I saw it first, I'm like, okay, this kind of animation, but oddly enough, I'm like, wait, this actually really works. Like
And
they do,
it really grows
right,
on you.
exactly. Like I feel like sometimes animation has to do the littlest right stuff to make it work. From character design, from action design, cinematography, colors.
I just love how they made them so expressive without breaking the feeling of them being Autobots.
Also, I want to talk about my actual favorite character in this movie. Like, as much as I love Optimus, Megatron, I love their fall. Bumblebee's is entertaining as hell. Elite is cool, but dude, Alpha Trion, so damn awesome.
Dude, I love you. He's also he's like my favorite character of the show, of the movie.
Dude, that design, like there is that design, the fact that he had like the cloak on his back and everything like that. Lawrence Fishburne does a great job voicing him. Like, oh, he's so cool. He's huge. And his transformation was when he transformed to fight those damn Quidditch. I was like, oh, that's what he is.
So, funny thing that only the big Destiny fans will know and realize. I think you'll understand this. When I saw, like the tattered cloak and like the hunch over bit, he gave me immediate vibes of Mithrax.
Morgan, I thought the same shit. I literally thought, I'm getting Destiny vibes from you. And I was thinking, like, I wonder if you're thinking the same thing. Because I just, it worked. It just worked.
Yes, I am vindicated.
So no, believe me, I got it because I was thinking the same shit. But wait, what character did you say remind you of again? Because I'm trying to remember what character that is.
Mithrax. He's one of the Elixni that ends up partnering with. Sorry, I'm so thrilled that you also thought that.
Oh, I am thinking about the right person.
Yeah. I'm so happy you thought that, and I'm not alone.
So yeah, I saw it. I got it. I got it exactly. I was like, I'm getting a Destiny vibe from
I am
design,
vindicated.
honestly.
Yes.
So yeah, I got it. I get it definitely. So, but oh man, he was so cool. He was just so freaking cool.
So good, man. And you know, Lawrence Fishburne, amazing actor, like without a doubt. But he did such a good job. I love the moods that Lawrence is able to embody, and just this kind of like brooding, like almost like Oracle-esque, like leader kind of, the guide to help the younglings kind of thing. Like he does so good with it, and I absolutely love it. The design was awesome, almost having like an apish sort of design to him, and like facially it was really cool. But then transforming into
a freaking like beast, like a
jaguar meets like T-Rex sort of thing. I don't even know. It was so cool looking. Yeah, maybe a panther. Like, I think that was really, really cool. You and I even talked about like how sick would it have been if like he had a group of operatives and it ended up connecting to like Rise of the Beasts, you know, or he was in some way connected to the beast forms of all of this. I think would be really, really sick. But that's a lot of crazy linking of lore to make that happen, I think.
Yeah, I actually kind of just looked into it, and I don't think that's actually what happened.
I know it's not because of the lore of like thinking about like how it happens for them in Rise of the Beasts. But yeah, it would be cool. It'd be really cool.
But I mean, it's not even just like the Maximals and the Predacons. They're not really, again, they're not the only people, Transformers who turn into beast-like things. We got Dinobots. We got Ravage, who literally comes from Soundwave, actually, too.
That's true.
Which, I wonder that's just going to come later, because it'd been cool to see, like, I wonder if Soundwave got any of his little friends, like Laserbeak or Ravage or anything like that. Would have been cool. But, oh, man, like, freaking Alphatron, like, he feels like, dude, be my mentor. You seem, like, wise, but you also throw down when it's time to throw down.
Yep, and I love it. And it's so much like Mithrax.
So awesome. So, oh man, I'm just so surprised how much I ended up liking this movie.
Me
I was getting into it. Like, I was really into it.
You and I were laughing at, like, Dan was enjoying it, don't get me wrong. I couldn't see Raven.
Raven was also enjoying it.
I feel like you and I happen to be in the middle together, and we're both like,
yeah! So good! Optimus does some cool shit, like, let's go, Optimus, let's go!
Yes!
Like, oh man, this movie was great. This was so awesome.
The choreography they animated for like the fight scenes looks sick. We see some really cool moves like Dan mentioned in the vehicle last night when we were driving our Autobot home. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna get that cheesy.
You already did.
I know, it's fine. So, but what I'm saying is, on our way home, Dan was talking about like the really cool fight scenes where like Optimus like transforms himself around somebody to basically break them. And like, like that, so cool. There was some really unique, fun ways that we got to watch them battle that I don't think we got in. Obviously, we didn't really get as much of, or at least we got different styles, but I think there was a lot more creativity that was able to be done with it being animated rather than being a live action with heavy CG work. Like if we're comparing it to the Michael Bay films.
There's a very different fighting style going on in the Michael Bay films where they feel like they fight like
Gundams.
I wouldn't even say Gundams. I don't want to say Knights
a little
either.
More fluid. It's like Gundams meet. I don't even know what else to say because like they have that Gundam
Barbarians.
Vibe. Yeah. They're a little more brutish for sure.
Yeah, because there's a variety of Transformers in the Bay films. Like you got the gun twirling ones, but then you got people like Optimus who has his sword, his axes, and then like his actual separate sword. Sentinel with his like double one. Then you had like the Dinobots who had like their barbarian like maces and stuff like that. And then the Knights of Atacon who had like medieval weapons actually, which man, such a cool concept, but you wasted it on a bad movie, you bastard.
Yeah.
And also the violence is a lot more. I mean, I'm glad to see that this film, I don't want to say kept it still was brutal in ways. Like they still went there.
It wasn't it wasn't unneedlessly brutal, but then they didn't shy away from it, like them putting a good fight in either.
Yeah, exactly. Like they tore people apart. You see people get shot. Like they went there in some of the places that you would see some of the former deaths happen. To a degree.
Yeah.
Unless you watch Dark of the Moon, that was some brutal shit, and I loved it.
We're not wrong.
Yeah. So, this movie's great. Like
it was a very good time, and I just want to say to anybody out, like I know you and Luke liked Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. I did not, because I thought it was way too kiddish. I understand wanting to bring in the younger crowds and keep your franchise fresh enough and watchable enough for the younger generations, but when your main the main demographic is not the young kids, that like it is the us who grew up with it and slightly older than like you and I think they did a fantastic job. And that was one thing I just want to say, like going into it expecting it to be really cheesy, you know, kind of cocktail with a lot of jokes. Now there was a lot of jokes, but the humor was good and it was well timed. It wasn't just like they were putting in laughs to just constantly.
No, they knew when to get serious.
They had their story, they had their beats done very well, whether it's the emotional beats, the story beats, the just, you know, the beats of like when to fight, when to like, I don't know, just everything. Everything was very well paced. I think this film was paced. One of the best paced films we've probably watched this year. Because we've been complaining a lot about pacing lately.
Yeah, that is true. Some things that felt too fast, some things that felt too slow.
This one felt, I think, pretty on point. I never felt like we were too slow. I never felt like we were too fast. And if it ever was in an area, I was enjoying it too much to care.
That's true. Yeah, I just feel like it was just paced perfectly. Yeah. I mean, not even in a way like, nope, I just don't care because that guy, like, nope, it was just done well. It was just done well.
Really felt like the writer sat down, like, we want this, that, like, here are our beats. This is a beat for the story. This is the beat, like, emotionally to drive their character arcs. This is the overarching story, but we also have to work on the stories of these individual characters, especially the characters of Optimus or Orion, Pax, and D16.
Oh, just call them Optimus Megatron, for God's sakes. Like, that's...
Yeah.
So, yeah. This also makes me remember, yeah, I really do like Transformers. Transformers
I do cool. too. I love Transformers. It like Transformers is why, like, Transformers got me into a lot of stuff. I immediately became a very big Transformers fan when the first Michael Bay film came out. And though I had watched some of the cartoon and everything, it was never one that I like sat down and watched faithfully. I just happened to see some episodes when it was on and there was nothing else to watch. And but no, I absolutely fell in love with the Transformers. It also was one of a very big influence for why I'm into Linkin Park. And New Divide was fantastic.
I got to thank Dragon Ball Z for my love of Linkin Park. Funny enough, I got into Transformers do Beast Wars, actually, which is why I was super happy that Rise of the Beast had the Maximals, actually. That was because I watched Beast Wars as a kid, and then my family took us to see Transformers, like, what is this? Wait, they're supposed to turn into animals, not cars? What the hell is this? Oh, wait, Optimus wait, I thought his name was Optimus Primal. Wait, that's Megatron? Hey, look, it's Scorponok. I'm so confused. Like, oh, it's different, but still into the same. I got you. Like, I remember when I was young, I used to look up my favorite character, Dinobot, and I got the Dinobots. I was like, what are all these guys?
Who are you? What are those?
What are you? But and then I ended up watching the first Transformers. Like, this movie is awesome.
So, I don't know where to rank this in terms of my favorite Transformers movie though. Because I
Mm,
have not watched the full franchise in forever, and I really need to give it a proper rewatch to rank everything.
skip the last night. You don't have to do that. You know what? If you wanna, fine. Just
So
don't.
the problem is like a hot take. I like the last night. However, I think the thing like I know that it's bad. Let me just start
That's
there.
fair.
I know it's bad. I just like a lot of the ideas they had in it.
Yo, no, that's I'm in the same aspect too. Because I'm gonna be real. Age of Extinction did start those ideas up, and I was like,
Yep.
I'm interested in where this could go. But the last night completely dropped the ball with okay, because a lot of the ideas they have is really good, but it completely contradicts everything with the franchise already. Like the idea of Transformers being this involved in history is sort of interesting. Some of them, no. I don't want to hear Harriet Tubman actually work with a Transformer, or Optimus was in the Revolutionary War, or Bumblebee fought in World War II. Like, no. Okay, we saw them come to Earth in the first film. Okay. But some of the stuff they were suggesting in Age of Extinction, like, okay, I can buy that because there's a lot of history for Optimus before he even showed up on Earth in the first Transformers.
Right. Right.
The concept of Cybertronian knights who look like actual knights from Earth, I'm like, no, I love that concept. That's actually
Yes.
really cool.
100%.
It was a concept like, yeah, I like the contrast of like the gun like Transformers, and then you got the ones who look like freaking knights. Like, I love that actually a lot. But and then don't get me started on the fucking editing. That was so bad. It was so bad.
The CG looked pretty good though.
No, the CG was great. I'll give it that. I'll even say this is a hot take. I think the designs that they started going with some of the Transformers is actually fine.
Yeah.
I like that some of them got a little more slimmer. And I mean, no, I mean, a lot of people can have their opinion on like the whole, they look like humans. He's got the beer. He's smoking a billet that looks like a cigar. But when you really think about it, look at the OG designs. They have like the human looking faces too. So they're just trying to implicate it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could argue that some of them might be racist because you got Ken Dr. Shirazawa, who was a Japanese samurai robot. Then you had the twins in the second movie, who we're not going to talk about.
What twins? I don't know what you're talking
Exactly. So I'm with you on the last night had interesting ideas, but the execution, this was clear as day. Michael Bay did not want to make this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and I hope that this does reboot the franchise. Like where this film ends, I could see this we get a reboot with what we currently have, like the storyline we have here now. I would love a continuation. Like let's get all the story of how they ended up from where they are now to Earth. Like because there's a lot of time gap between then and now.
There's actually, funny enough too, because we had the Bayformer for the longest time that was quote unquote ruining Transformers, but we did have a lot of good Transformers in media. We had Transformers Prime, which I hear was really good. I haven't gotten around to watching that yet. The War and the Fall of Cybertron games I hear are really revived too. They had the War for Cybertron Netflix thing, which I have to watch as well. Like Transformers did have good quality stuff, but I feel like not only was it sometimes a lack of marketing, but I do feel like I feel like maybe Michael Bay kind of tainted Transformers in a way for people too. That they kind of stayed away from it, from the maybe more authentic Transformers that I feel people will probably have more liking towards.
And this may not be accurate, but I feel like it wasn't so much out in the forefront of how many different people worked on these different franchises. I feel like a lot of people heard Transformers and just assumed Michael Bay had his hands in it no matter what it was. I feel like it was only in the last like 10 or so years that we're really starting to have like the more ins and outs of these companies really coming to light, and you get to find out all the more like the deeper side of the politics of the filming industry and just how intertwined for the better or and the worse that things are with even just franchises and licensing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But even though Michael did kind of sort of taint it, I have a lot of love for those movies. I really do.
I do too. We should go over one day on the show. I think it'd be a really fun show to do is like go over, like collect our list of films that made us want to get into filmmaking.
Ooh.
Like films or shows, because I have shows as well. Because the Transformers is in there. I love the Transformers. When it came out back when I was a little kid, I was like, looks awesome. This is sick.
I'm in for that too. I'm definitely up for that. because we can save it for that episode, but I will definitely say this: Transformers inspired my brain on epic action sequences. At least it's one of the things, but I will definitely say, yeah, Transformers was a big part of some of the action things I think of until I started watching anime. Then I changed completely to a degree. But if I were to rank this movie amongst everything else, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait,
I need
5,
to pull up.
8. We have 8 movies to go off of. Technically 9, but I'm not counting that OG animated one because I never saw that. So in last place, sat not because it's bad, but because I didn't finish it. Bumblebee. I never finished Bumblebee.
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I heard that too. But in actual last place is The Last Night because what a train wreck! What a train wreck! Then I'm gonna go. I gotta go Age of Extinction. See, when it first came out, I was probably the biggest supporter of Age of Extinction, but I feel The Last Night kind of made me dislike it more, actually. So we got Age of Extinction next. Then we'll go. Oh, this is tough.
I'll say my last is The Last Night.
Okay.
Then next would be Age of Extinction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going through all this. Like, I'm looking at like what they are.
Gotcha. So wait, last place because Bumblebee because I didn't finish it. Then it's Last Night. Then it's Age of Extinction, which I guess I still do like Age of Extinction, but I feel like I don't like watching the full movie. I like just watching scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So, see, this is where things get tough because I do have bias for Revenge of the Fallen, but I also really acknowledge that movie is really stupid in places.
What is this one?
Which one?
Is this an animated film? Oh yeah, this is the animated one. I don't know this one.
I
Fall of Man.
That. Oh, I don't know that one at all.
I don't know that one. I want to say next. Oh god, that's so hard.
I think for my next,
I think it's gonna be Revenge of the Fallen.
Mine's too, actually. I love that. I really do like that movie, but I can acknowledge it's bad. But
yeah,
then I have to go Rise of the Beast. I was debating like, do I like? Is my nostalgia gonna make me say Rise of the Beast? I mean, Revenge of the Fallen or Rise of the Beast? But I'm like, I think Rise of the Beast was actually kind of better.
As much as I like Rise of the Beasts, because I do really like it, I thought it was really funny because I knew nothing about, like any of the primal bots, right? I really like it, but it's not as memorable to me as the others, so it would also be next for me.
Yeah, that was an issue. Like, a good one, but just not very memorable. So yeah, I agree with you on that. And then I'm gonna say Dark of the Moon. Great action, awesome special effects. If they just ended it there, I'd have been fine. Fuck you, Sentinel, Rip Ironhide. Great music too. Like, Dark of the Moon is awesome. And you know what? Nope, I'm gonna save it for after we're done with this. And then I'm gonna have to say Transformers 1. Like, this was that good. But nostalgia is going to beat it out for the first Transformers.
I would go next would also be Dark Side of the Moon, or Dark of the Moon. What's left? Then we have Transformers 1, like the OG Transformers.
I don't think you say Bumblebee yet either.
And then Bumblebee, which would then go Bumblebee. Then number 2, second best, Transformers 1. The only reason OG Transformers gets number 1 is strictly off of nostalgia. If we're going filmmaking and story, flip them. Transformers 1 is better. But nostalgia side of me puts Transformers first.
Memorable moments, like good filmmaking stuff too, like actual legit great filmmaking.
Yeah, no,
questionable
for sure.
choices, but great. And it just takes me back. It takes me back to just a simpler time when I would gather all my toys, pretend this was Optimus, this was Megatron.
I remember being so excited because I went and saw it with my dad and my brother in the theater. Right, I had basically I knew what the Transformers were, but I didn't really know much, and I left so excited to learn more and to get more Transformers content to learn, and like, you know, just I was ready for more.
Also, all the toys, so awesome, so
I never
awesome.
had any of the toys, but man,
I
was 10 years old. when Transformers came out.
Oh, wait, no, they're not in my closet no more. Fuck.
Yeah, I was 10 years old, and you were 9, right?
No, I was younger.
Aren't you only a year younger than me?
Was I 9 in 07? I don't know. I'm not doing that math. Wait, let me check something real quick. I feel like I have one Transformer up here.
He's trying to find his figures.
Oh, man. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, I have 2 of them.
Found one. You found one. Success.
Dumb down, YouTube.
I'm just waiting for it to do everything crash and burn. All right.
I'm back.
So you need to describe what these are for those who are listening on Spotify.
Here we have my Dinobot Grimlock. So
Ooh.
Cool. He is awesome. Got him in Dino mode here. I'm not going to do all the transforming and stuff because that might take a second. I don't want to, pad it out by just sounds of me transforming a Dinobot here. And then we have Age of Extinction Optimus Prime.
Nice.
Who's missing a roof panel. Which I actually think I still have somewhere. I just don't know exactly where. Comes with the shield he has. And underneath is his sword, which is actually based off of it's actually based off of an original concept art of what his sword was going to be. But I still like it a lot, though.
Well, that's really cool.
I have a Bumblebee somewhere as well, but I need more Transformers. I want more Transformers, definitely. I want a new Grimlock because I like this Grimlock, but I'm definitely always trying to find the Transformers that look the most like how they look in the movie, with like good parts, transform and stuff like that, and good design. Because this one, he's girl, but he's too long. He's like too long, but his robot form is awesome.
I've never seen the robot form. I've never seen that at all.
Well, I'll keep talking while I do this. Give me a sec. Also, I want to go on a little bit of a tyrant about Dark of the Moon. I am sick of people calling Optimus a war criminal in that movie. Just because okay, look, I get it. Bayformers is more brutal. I get it. But to those who have a problem with the fact that how he killed Sentinel Prime and Megatron in that movie, what did you expect? Look, think about what they did after everything they did. Optimus is done with their shit. How do you transform this again? Hold on a second. Wait, am I missing something? No, I'm not. There we go. Like I am sick of that complaint, honestly. Like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna go too deep into it. We'll say that for another episode when we just go deep in like Transformers again or something like that. Transforming Grimlock.
Will he finish the transformation?
Oh, I will. I'm just talking at the same time so we ain't got no dead air. I was just waiting for a finished Grimlock. And there's the front there. Hold that up there. Haven't played with my Transformers in so long. Ooh, flip that down. Put that there. There we go. So, are we at the point where we're going to probably rate the movie?
I would say we're at the point of rating the movie, bud.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
so, you want to go first? Or I'm sorry, I'm just trying to keep us.
No, you're good. Dude, this is really hard to rate. But I think I have decided from just visually in the terms of the color, the animation, and especially the pacing, the acting, the evolution that we get of these characters and how much this movie surprised me. It's an 8.5.
You know, after I first watched it, I kind of wanted to say 9.
Me too.
But I had to think it like, well, hold on a sec. I had
to reel myself in.
Yeah. So 8.5. I'm 8.5 as well.
Let's go.
We're on the same.
Both get Destiny vibes. Both 8.5. Our rankings are almost the exact freaking same.
We thinking the same shit while watching the damn movie. Oh, I'm gonna show this.
This is why we're friends.
His tail. Yep, his tail turns into this. Club.
Ooh. I gotta switch back to you so people can see everything.
Boom.
Oh, nice.
Robot form Grimlock. Yeah, his robot form on this toy is awesome.
That's really cool. Anybody listening on Spotify, you should head over to our YouTube so you can see what this thing looks like. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love this thing. Oh, fun fact too. So the 2014 Ninja Turtles movie, Shredder's helmet was based off of Grimlock's head.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool.
If you look at Shredder in that movie, then look at Grimlock. You'll see it.
Okay. I'll have to
After all, they were calling Shredder a Transformer in that movie.
Nice.
Wait, when you really think about it, come on, those were some giant-ass Ninja Turtles. They need to have something. He needs something like, oh, I see why the Turtles will probably have a hard time fighting him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Transformers 1 completely took us by surprise on how much we actually liked it. A lot more than we thought we were gonna. So, props, credit to them for really, yeah.
Are you trying to transform the other one now?
Ah! Oh god, his leg fell off! No, it'll come back on.
Optimus, no!
Oh no, it just comes back on. Yeah, some of these toys is a little dated a little bit. Oh yeah, I forgot that flips over like that. Oh, get off the mic, Optimus! I know you want to give your final speech and stuff like you did in the Bayformers movie. Shit. Come on, here we go. Put your shield on. Oh, wrong hand. Oh shit, my bad.
Come on, bruh. You're supposed to know what hand goes on.
Sorry, Grimlock, his shield can go on both arms, but I forgot Optimus had a specific one.
Chat, right now, while we have an Autobot over here transforming.
Boom.
Is transformed. Let me switch over so everybody can see it. Oh, that's a really cool look for Optimus as well.
Yeah.
Chat, please let us know in the chat who is your favorite Autobot?
His leg!
Not the leg, Dreaded.
No. So if you look here, it has like a little disc thing, and then right here,
yeah,
it's hard to see.
Yeah, it pops back in.
Yeah, it slides right back on. But I keep this in mind. 2014. I bought this in 2014. It is 2024 now.
It is 10 years old.
Yep.
Feel old.
Also, I remember playing with these things, and like, unfortunately, they're the same size, so you can't get the accuracy of Optimus slugging a big ass Dinobot. No, he's about the same size. But bam. Ah! Oh god! Someone call Megatron! They killed each other by accident.
Well, everybody, that was a look into Dreaded childhood 10 years ago. A teenagehood?
Teenagehood.
Yeah.
And also adulthood. Oh, you saw.
Oh, that's great. Well, anything else, but before we wrap up tonight's episode?
If you got okay, I really hope this movie picks up some traction in the box office. Like, this is a movie, guys, go check this movie out. If you are fans of Transformers, check this movie out. This movie is good. I feel you will definitely like it. It is not Bayformers, trust me, okay? It is not Bayformers. Oh wow, Michael Bay really did produce it. But yeah, no, his name's just on it. He did not touch this movie at all. So guys, check out Transformers 1. I would love to see this film become at least a success. It doesn't have to be like a smash hit, but just be a success enough that we'll get more. And maybe once this comes to DVD and streaming, this will even get a bigger fandom. Also, I'll let Morgan do that. Actually, I was going to start plugging this.
Well, let's go ahead and do that then. So, everybody, we are the Wannabes podcast, and I'm Morgan, and that is Dreaded. And normally we have Luke with us. He'll be on other shows coming soon. But as we have mentioned a couple times today, we are on YouTube. We are on Spotify. So please go subscribe to us on YouTube. Please follow us on Spotify. Right now, our previous show from last week, Beetlejuice is available. Another upload that just happened as well is our Borderlands movie review with special guest French Kitty and Shirtless Dan. That was a phenomenal episode. Go check them out. We have plenty more on there. And you want to know a little bit of our upload schedule. Saturdays, we're releasing the Wannabes Archive, which is any reviews we have done that it's older than 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So those release every Saturday around 11 a.m. Then you can catch this episode. If you're not watching it right now on Twitch, you're going to be able to catch it on YouTube at 11 a.m. on Tuesday on YouTube. You are able to listen to it at 11 a.m. on Spotify. Now, you want to know when we're going live? What we're reviewing next week? Follow us on our social medias. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or X if you want to call it that, at Podcast Wanna. You can search up Wannabe's podcast. We'll show up that way too. But please make sure you go give us a follow on all of our platforms. You will know when we're going live, what we're reviewing. If there happens to be any weeks that for whatever reason we're not live, and especially when we get close to the holidays, we do take usually a little bit of a break. That way we can spend time with the families. So yeah, you stay up to date on all of the updates related to us and movies over on our social medias, and you can watch stuff on YouTube, here on Twitch, over on Spotify, and enjoy us on the go. But yeah, we are super excited that we are growing, we are expanding. Coming soon, everybody will be at TikTok. We will be having short clips for our TikTok coming soon, and we can't wait to share just more and more content with you guys as, you know, the year goes on. It's a super exciting time for us all, and we're happy to be sharing it with you.
Yeah.
But for now, everybody, this concludes our entertainment news and movie review of Transformers 1.
Transformers. More than meets the eyes.
But for now, you guys have a wonderful night. We'll see you next time. And don't forget the popcorn, all right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Autobots, roll
out.
Bam. Me, Grimlock. I'm big, and I like breaking shit. Bam. Stop right there, Grimlock. Oh, crap. It's Optimus Prime. Give up now, and I won't have to shut up, you asshole. Bam. Oh, my face. Take us out. Shake, 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 motherfucker.